Listo. ¿Empezamos, cierto? ¿Listo? Yo creo que... Sí, ahora mismo de puerta también.
¿Cuándo? En este momento. Pero ¿será que viene aquí a las 8?
Estar en portería, pero espera,
bueno,
no, tranquila, pues
sí,
empezamos, Sí, buenos días, bienvenidos al tercer día del seminario. El día de hoy abordaremos, la temática del transporte. Tendremos dos presentaciones, en este caso, la primera presentación será a cargo de la profesora Claudia Marcela Aldana, Medellín, Infraestructura y Movilidad, y tendremos la segunda presentación a cargo de la estudiante Julián Kendall y Lidia Swisky. En este caso será en el cambio climático y el transporte en Alemania. Agradecemos su asistencia y empezamos. Gracias.
Gracias, Claudia. Good morning. How are you? My English is not so good, so my presentation is in English, but if you don't understand me, sorry. My English is like a Karol G, you know Karol G? Yeah? Okay. It is amazing. Yeah? Okay. Okay. My name is Marcela Aldana. ¿Tú tienes? Te voy diciendo. Okay. My name is Claudia Marcela Aldana Ramirez. I am professor here, and welcome anytime in Medellín, okay? My presentation is the infrastructure and sustainable mobility, and the content is location in Medellín, population growth, transportation system, infrastructure, physical interventions, and research by UREA, okay? Universidad de Antioquia. Continue. Okay, here. What is the location of Medellín? You know, as you may imagine, we are in America, specifically in Colombia, often referred to as the best corner of America due to our access to both oceans, Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean, and as well as many ways to interact through transportation. Currently in the Urabá region, this is in this zone, Urabá here, up. One of the most important ports, next please. One of the most important ports is in country is under construction. What is the port? Port Antioquia, called Port Antioquia. And see, the be inaugurated before 2025. This area is home to banana exporting company and has significant commercial exchange with the interior departments and the capital of the country. Next. Additionally, Antioquia has an agenda 2040 growth in terms of multimodal transportation infrastructure, where one of the main modes is passengers and freight trains, as we can see in the image. We can see the different modes rail transport that are proposed by Agenda 2040 in Antioquia. Various transportation systems connect with the country interior, like the light rail system with Medellín, Bogotá, que es un tren de alta capacidad. Continue. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, continue with the location of Medellín, the Aburrá Valley. Not the Aburrá, yes, the Aburrá Valley. This is Antioquia, this is Aburrá Valley. The Urbanismo metropolitan area is composed of 10 municipalities, these ones, Barbosa, Girardota, Copacabana, Bello, Medellín, Itagüí, Envigado, La Sabaneta, La Estrella y Caldas. The population of Medellín has 2.6 million of people, and the 10 municipalities that make up our valley have total population of 3.5 million. This has led to significant growth in vertical urbanization or densification, as presented by Professor Juan Fernando the last Monday. Yeah. Medellin is the most important city in the Valley. Okay, what is the AMBA? What is the Area Metropolitana of Valle de Aburrá? It's important to know that the Aburrá Metropolitan was created in 1980 and has the following responsibilities. It is environmental authority, yeah? It has the function on territorial planning and is also the authority for the modal transportation. The AMBA has a metropolitan territorial planning plan, this one, plan de ordenamiento territorial metropolitano, by the various municipalities that make it up to develop and more orderly territory and an integral metropolitan development plans that combines the vertical and abiotic factors of the territory. The metropolitan, okay, that's important. The metropolitan area is also responsible for formulating strategic metropolitan projects such as the lines of Metro Medellín, which operates across different municipalities. Okay. Communication between different buildings by airports, the localization of Medellín and its metropolitan area is between different valleys. Yeah. We find the Cauca Valley in the west of the department with an approximate altitude of 500 meters above sea level. The Aburrá Valley with an approximate altitude of 1.6 meters above sea level, and the San Nicolas Valley to the east with an average altitude of 2,000 meters above sea level. An important fact here, is that the Aburrá Valley spans only about 7 kilometers wide in the municipality of Medellín. They have the urban zone, suburban zone, and rural zone. Okay. That is important too. La comunicación between different valleys via airports in Medellín. There is currently a national airport and the municipal of the Rio Negro. We have an international airport, and in Medellín there is the national airport here in Medellín, and in the Cauca Valley, there is a proposal, Aeropuerto Nacional, Aeropuerto Internacional, and is this is in the Cacao Island, there is a proposal for a national and international airport, which is currently in the pre-feasibility phase. If the construction is feasible, the airport located in Medellin, where if this airport construct, this airport disappear, and maybe for locate green space in the city. This is the proposal. Okay. Okay, in 1921, migration began from the rural area of Santa Fe, Antioquia, in the west, to that will become the new capital of the department of Antioquia named Medellin. At that time, the population was approximately 90,000 inhabitants. In 1921, yeah? In 1945, there was indiscriminate and unplanned growth due to the establishment of industry, increasing the population to approximately 217,000 inhabitants. And in 1931, the population of Medellin had grown approximately 1 million people, making it a sprawling city. In 1985, construction of Metro de Medellin began. Okay. Here, the first metro line was inaugurated in 1996, following by the second line, which support mobility in the western of the city. An interesting fact is that the metro system in Medellin is elevated and at the ground level because when its construction began in 1985, Colombia was experiencing the drugs trafficking war. Yeah? If you know the story, you will know who Pablo Escobar was. Yeah? Now he knows like El Patrón. Yeah? At the time, one of his tactics was to place bombs in the city. Boom, yeah, bombs. And the system planners thought that if a bomb were placed in an underground system, it will be harder to evacuate or provide aid compared to an elevated system. Okay? 8 years later, in 2004, the first Metro Cable line was inaugurated in the northeastern zone of Medellin, connecting one of the most deprived areas of the city. 4 years later, in 2008, the second Metro Cable line was inaugurated in the western zone, supporting and connecting a proposed territorial expansion zone for Medellin. The people living there have low incomes. 2 years later, in 2010, the first tourist Metro Cable line was inaugurated, connected with the rural area of Medellin, specifically with the district of Santa Elena, where the flower fair is celebrated. The same year, in 2010, the Metro Plus system or Bus Rapid Transit, BRT, system also began operation. 6 years later, in 2016, the tramway was inaugurated connecting with the east zone of the city. And from his line, two metrocables were added, one in the same year and another in 2019. Finally, in 2021, the last Metrocable line was inaugurated supporting the northwestern zone of the city. As you can see, there are master plan for the metro system is 2006 to 2030, the projection, which has many another projects planning for the future to improve sustainable mobility, reduce the use to the private vehicles, decrease CO2 emissions, combat global warming, and improve air quality conditions. This is the another document, Bio 2030. Okay. The Medellin metro system transport 850,000 people daily, and the Inter-SIDBA, Sistema Integrado de Transporte del Valle de Aburrá system transports more than 1.2 million people daily. Yeah. Okay, metro, and the other ones, 1,200,000 people. Okay. The metropolitan area is divided into zones to be served by intermunicipal public transport routes. These routes are identified by different colors, which each color associated with the zone from which the population is transported. The identification helps people take the correct roads according to their location. These vehicles are small, it's like 40 passengers due to the road conditions and high slopes. Okay, Medellin and the metro system have saved more than 2.9 billion pesos annually, equivalent to $900 million by reducing pollution emissions, approximately 620,000 tons of CO2, in addition to fuel saving and reduce road incidents. In Medellin, 200 people die annually in traffic accidents in Medellin. Similarly, users save approximately 130 minutes in travel time each year. Green top ups can be made by recycling plastic bottles at metro system stations. This initiative was started by university students in 2018. Up to 18 bottles per day can be recycled per personal car. This is prevent safety 5 tons of CO2 from being emitted in the atmosphere, equivalent to removing 760,000 vehicles from circulation in a year. Only one personal car is needed to access to different transportation system of Medellin Metro. This is an important thing. Okay, imagine approximately 18,000 people have physical disabilities, and the Medellin Metro use elevators and electric ramps to include the population with disabilities in the system, as the metro is elevated and has many stairs, you know. In total, the population with the physical disabilities who can access the system in the metropolitan area is 35,000 people. This is an important issue in climatic change. The needs of people with reduced mobility and their ways of transporting themselves is the social inclusion. Bicycles cannot be transported in the system all the time. They have different schedules for transportation. Okay. The Medellin tram is a system that uses pneumatic tires. I don't know if you can see here. Pneumatic tires and a metallic guide. Yeah, this one is the metallic guide rail. The tire is used for better grip on street surfaces. Yeah. Look at the slopes. Interesting fact, the line that separates the system from safe pedestrian crossing is called GLOW. GLOW is Gálibo de Libre Obstáculo o Obstacle Free Gauge. This is the line. This is the line that is the design. Yeah. And this design is inspired by the floor of the first law school of the Universidad de Antioquia. Okay, through the construction of infrastructure to improve the operation of the transportation system, changes have been made to the city's road geometry. For example, rounds or round points have been converted into signalized intersection, prioritizing the system. These interventions are called green corridors o corredores verdes. And the stations are located every 400 meters, allow people to access them easily with a 10 minutes walk. Okay, the Cicla system is a system of public and free bicycles offered in the various municipalities of the Aburrá Valley metropolitan area. This system has allowed the population to save money and move more sustainably, avoiding CO2 emissions. Public bicycle system with an average loan of 15,200 trips per day. It has 59 stations and fleet of 2,000 bicycles. You can hear the dates. The service is entirely free with prior registration. It has 83,000 active users, of which 21% are women and 79% are men. 70% of users are low income, while 30% are high income. The system began operating in 2011 with 105 vehicles and 6 stations. It has both automatic and manual station, like you can see here, station, automatic station and manual station. As seen on the map, there is a significant issue with the system, as the road network for the bicycle circulation is discontinuous and does not fully cover the city of Medellin. Local governments are working to improve the infrastructure and enable safer travel, in addition to reducing the use of private vehicles. The line orange is the network for the bicycle. Okay. The AMBA has a metropolitan bicycle master plan, plan of the Aurora Ballet called PMB 2030, which must be used by the different traffic and transportation authorities. In the metropolitan area of the Aurora Valley, their average bicycle trips time is 23, is 23 minutes on low slope roads with an average distance of 2 kilometers. In Medellin, there are green taxis, meaning electric taxis that don't populate the city. This is an advantage for sustainable mobility and CO2 reducing. Currently, there are 43 charging stations in the city of Medellin. Recently, the Parques del Río project has been undertaken with, which is an initiative by the metropolitan area to reclaim public space by burgeoning vehicles roads and creating green pedestrian areas for the community. Where vehicles once circulated, people now walk. Before, in 2015, and after in 2020. Where vehicles once circulate, people now walk, connecting different points in the city along the river of Medellin. This is the river. The main idea is for this project to extend along the Medellin River on into the various municipalities of the Aurora Valley. And I think the underground now, the vehicles circulating for here. In one of the most densely populated areas of Medellin, this is the Comuna 13, the well-known electric escalators, I don't know if you know these ones. Electric escalators were installed, improving mobility for people in the area, including those with physical disabilities. These escalators replaced 315 concrete steps, contributing to sustainable mobility. Approximately 12,000 people use these escalators daily. Additionally, space for the children, I'm lost here, sorry. Space for the children, restaurants, recreational areas, and tourists have been developing in what once a socially problematic area, now transformed through resilience. There is a saying that goes, every great public space should be a space for the small public, the children. Okay. The tactile urbanism in Medellin began in 2014 with intervention in various areas of the city, promoting pedestrian and cyclist mobility, and Medellin created a guidebook, this one. A guidebook was created to ensure that the city planners include this cost-effective and impactful intervention in their projects. This is in the Laureles zone. Okay, and finally, at the University of Antioquia, events on sustainable mobility have been held promoting systems such as electric vehicles developed by the students themselves. In 2018, the first electric vehicle race took place with participation from over 22 universities across the country. The first competition was held on the University of Antioch campus, and these events have since rotated among universities nationwide. In this way, the university also contributes through planning and research into new ways of inhabiting the territory and moving around in a more sustainable manner. This is my students here, and this is the electric vehicle that he's create. And for the finally, ¿me ayudas con el video, porfa? This video shows the intervention proposed for the area near the University of Antioquia.
Enclosed by the Andes' challenging geography and a rich, biodiverse environment between connections of water, energy, and transportation is the city of Medellin. At the new north of the metropolis, the Medellin Innovation District has been designed to become the center of a major transformation and boost innovation throughout. Connecting the energy of existing enterprises, led by Ruta N, the district incrementally grows over a period of 10 years through a sustainable mix of uses that generate social capital. The East-West Innovation Axis and Carabobo connect the district to Moravia and downtown Medellin through pedestrian mobility solutions that focus around the needs of a new, human-scale lifestyle, and public spaces enhanced by digital technologies. With a sprawl of biodiversity throughout the district, inspired by the city's botanical garden, Carabobo unfolds north-south its unique Latin appeal, surrounded by the presence of corporate research facilities and public amenities, in a green and digital environment. Hubs of digital production spread within the traditional neighborhoods of Chagualo and Jesus Nazareno, tying together living and working through Medellin's characteristic architecture of indoor-outdoor spaces. The new Riverfront Park, next to the University of Antioquia, becomes the playground for the neighborhood's diverse and inclusive social milieu, connecting the district back to the Medellin River and back to nature.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sí, muchas gracias, profesora Claudia Marcela. ¿Alguna pregunta? Any questions? Espera que ¿Tienes el otro micrófono, profesora? Ah, vale.
Para mí es muy impresionante cómo Medellín ha organizado este del transporte, conociendo otras ciudades en Latinoamérica. Ustedes aquí ya bastante avanzado. Muy bien. Pero quería saber cuáles son los retos, qué falta hacer, cuáles son los proyectos del futuro. Tal vez nos pueda explicar.
Bueno, en Spanish. ¿Ya? Ok, en Medellín fue muy resiliente porque hace 20 años, hace 30 años era la ciudad más peligrosa del mundo, ¿sí? Medellín cuando empezó la construcción del metro de Medellín, estábamos en los 80s y digamos que fue un avance importante para la ciudad debido a que incluso la capital del país no tiene metro, ¿sí? Y de allí empezamos una construcción buscando o revisando las necesidades de la población debido a las altas pendientes que tenemos en la ciudad, ¿cierto? Porque vivimos en un valle y en un valle. Entonces ustedes han visto cómo hemos crecido a nivel de la ladera. Ha sido difícil la conectividad, pero así todo, pues entonces llegamos con el metrocable, que fue, pues digamos, uno de los sistemas más importantes que ha tenido Medellín, ya que debido a esto, la población que se asienta en las zonas más altas de la ciudad puede de alguna forma sentirse propio del municipio de Medellín. Antes la gente no se identificaba del municipio de Medellín. Ellos decían, vamos a ir a Medellín, sin considerarse parte de la ciudad, se veían lejanos. Entonces, digamos que estos sistemas, como el Metrocable, han hecho que las personas se sientan más de la ciudad. Entonces, esos han sido los proyectos que se han ido construyendo y aquí vimos más o menos cómo hemos ido evolucionando, incluso con lo que es el BRT o el Metro Plus de la ciudad y el tranvía, ¿cierto? ¿Qué tiene Medellín o qué viene para el futuro? Lo que se está haciendo o lo que se busca en realidad es disminuir el crecimiento del parque automotor, que yo sé que ustedes han visto, hay muchas motocicletas, muchas motos, ¿sí? Porque el 56% aproximadamente del trabajo en Colombia es informal. Entonces, la moto se convierte en un sistema de transporte muy económico para la población y eso ha hecho que incluso tengamos muchos problemas en el tema de los accidentes y las muertes en vía por el tema de las motocicletas. Entonces, en este momento Medellín lo que está intentando hacer es crear otras zonas apoyándose con otros sistemas de transporte como el tren del río, que viene, digamos, uno de los proyectos más próximos es el tren del río, que se viene paralelo al metro de Medellín que tenemos ahora, ¿cierto? Y comunica los 10 diferentes municipios del área metropolitana del Valle de Aburrá. En las primeras diapositivas vimos que Antioquia quiere implementar diferentes sistemas de tren en Antioquia para comunicar el departamento con otros departamentos al interior de Colombia. Eso es, digamos que es la apuesta más grande que se tiene en este momento y se espera que para el 2030 tengamos el tren del río operando, bueno, por lo menos construido, dentro del área metropolitana del Valle de Aburrá y luego conectarnos con estos otros sistemas de transporte tipo tren, ¿cierto? Que pueden cargar más gente, incluso carga, ¿cierto? Freight, y así permitir de alguna forma que las personas no utilicen tanto los sistemas de transporte privados. Es hacia allá más o menos hacia donde vamos. Espero me hayan entendido. Sí. ¿Otra pregunta? Claro.
Buenos días a todos. Profe, la pregunta es, se viene, digamos, el tren en temas de movilidad, el tranvía a la 80, pero para el peatón, en el video veíamos algo de Carabobo, ayer nosotros estuvimos en Carabobo y sabemos que Carabobo es la que pasa por acá arriba, por el Jardín Botánico y llega hasta el centro. Digamos que, ¿cuál es el proyecto con eso en temas de peatones?
Bueno, con el tema de peatones, la idea es que bueno, nosotros hemos tenido un déficit muy grande en el tema de andenes peatonales. La ciudad cuando se fue construyendo no tuvo en cuenta el tema del andén para las personas, para caminar seguros. La ciudad se fue construyendo solamente para vías, para vehículos, no más. Entonces, la apuesta que ha hecho el municipio de Medellín y el área metropolitana es precisamente construir más kilómetros de andenes, ¿cierto? Con un ancho aproximadamente de 2 metros para que de alguna forma las personas también se incentiven a caminar. En Colombia nosotros, o en Medellín, nosotros no somos buenos caminantes, pues todo por el tema también de seguridad, el tema de las pendientes, ¿sí? Se vuelve, digamos, de una forma complicada y ese es como el reto también que se tiene. Cuando se construyó la avenida Carabobo, ¿cierto? La que ustedes conocieron ayer, yo estuve trabajando en ese proyecto, fue un proyecto muy complejo porque teníamos 3 carriles de circulación de vehículos, donde pasaban muchas rutas de buses y la gente no cree en la peatonalización de las vías. O sea, cree que si les vamos a peatonalizar una vía, entonces no van a conseguir vender, por ejemplo, como ustedes alcanzaron a ver ayer en Carabobo, es una zona de mucha atracción porque hay muchos, digamos, centros comerciales, todo este tema pues de comercial, ¿cierto? Entonces la gente cree que si el vehículo no llega hasta la puerta del comercio, entonces no voy a vender. Lo que nosotros intentamos hacer con ese primer proyecto que fue Carabobo, fue precisamente mostrarle a la gente que necesitamos más espacios para la gente, donde se camine, ¿cierto? Parques del Río intenta hacer ese ejercicio a lo largo del río de Medellín en los diferentes municipios del área metropolitana. Este pedacito que tenemos de Parques del Río solamente son 500 metros que hemos hecho, muy poco, pero muestra que sí, porque tenemos una falencia de espacio público también, entonces muestra que sí podemos hacer espacio público para la gente y mejorar las condiciones de peatones. Eso es lo que se está intentando hacer, crear más zonas para el peatón, andenes con unos anchos adecuados para que la gente entonces camine. Eso es lento, pero digamos que los proyectos que se están formulando en este momento, eso va, eso ya va, tiene que ir. O sea, los planificadores de esta ciudad están incluyendo esas soluciones dentro de los proyectos. Sí. Otra pregunta. ¿No quieren saber más de movilidad por ahora? Ok, muchísimas gracias.
Muchas gracias, profesora. Continuamos con la presentación del estudiante Julián y la estudiante Lidia en el marco del cambio climático y el transporte en Alemania. Gracias. Ya te paso. Mira.
Okay, bienvenido a nuestra presentación. Buenos días. Yeah, welcome to our topic, mobility in urban areas in Germany. We want to give you a short introduction to the topic, some facts and figures to help you understand how mobility works in Germany. Then we want to talk about different strategies, how to improve mobility and make it more sustainable. We have a few future visions, a few future ideas that people are working on in Germany right now, and then 2 best practice examples that we want to present to you. So mobility in Germany, we have many different ways of transportation, of course, but if you talk about mobility to German people, most people will only start to complain. So if you talk about the roads and the cars, people will say the streets are too crowded. If you talk about the trains, people will also say too crowded, not on time, so many problems. We have bike lanes in most cities, but they are under construction, they are not well enough. Or we have the public transport. Over there you can see the sign of the subway in Berlin. And also people can complain that it's not on time and not reliable enough. So we want to talk about how to make mobility improve the usability, but more importantly, improve the sustainability of the mobility. Because, for example, the cars are not the most sustainable option. So let's see how we can change that.
Yeah, and let's start with the modal split. The modal split is the percentage of people using different types of transportation. Like here, the public transport, like buses, trains, etc. Thanks. And bicycles and pedestrian traffic, like walking. The key point is that 18% of all kilometers are traveled in Germany are by public transport, bicycles or walking, but 80% is car traffic, and most people use their own car. I mean, in general, I think Germany is well known for their car industry. The impact of the transportation sector is the next slide. I can take it also. Yeah, let's talk about facts, figures, and data. The environmental impact of the transportation is a major issue worldwide, and Germany is no exception or more. Because of the industry, Germany have a big responsibility to reduce emissions. Last year, in 2023, the transport sector in Germany emitted 146 million tons of CO2 equivalents. And to reach the target of the Paris Agreement from the year of 2015, it's we have to reduce emissions. The goal is to reduce carbon emissions and encourage the use of a cleaner transportation to have more options in the future.
Yes, and to reach that, the EU Parliament made a resolution that by the year of 2035, there is supposed to be no more registration of new cars with combustion engines. So until that time, we need to find other ways of transportation, because that's what has been decided to be changed. So how can we do that? If we talk about strategies in Germany, we often talk about those kinds of approaches. We try to put a Spanish translation underneath. I hope it's correct. So we want to talk about reduction, deflection, improvement, and traffic justice. And I'm going to start with reduction. So this means to reduce and shorten the journeys with the aim of satisfying the same needs with less traffic. This is supposed to result in fewer passenger kilometers, which then also reduces the emissions. So to reach that, we need to change how the cities are being built. Cities need to become more compact, multi-centered, and with multi-usage, with a mix of usage, so that you don't have to travel so long, you have shorter journeys every day, and that reduces the emission. One way of implementation is the 15-minute concept by Carlos Moreno, and this concept is currently quite popular in Germany and most of Europe. The concept aims for a city structure that allows you to reach essential local services like your work, your supermarket, or free time activities by foot or by bicycle only in a 15-minute radius. So you want to create the structure of the city in a way that bicycle and foot can bring you to your necessary places in a short time. And if you reach that, the cars just become less important and the daily journeys and the emissions are reduced. The second strategy is deflection, which means that we should aim for a higher share of modes of transport with lower energy consumption. So in the chart, in the modal split that we saw, the percentage of the sustainable modes of transport should become bigger. So we want to have walking, cycling, public transport, and sharing systems to replace cars, trucks, and airplanes. We want to implement that by long-term planning, promotion, and facilitation of some sustainable transport infrastructure in political concepts. We have chosen to show you the pedestrian traffic strategy and the national cycling plan, for which are concepts. So the pedestrian traffic strategy, sorry, it's a tongue breaker, is more of a suggestion for politics, and it's investigating the question of how can we raise awareness for pedestrians and under what conditions it can be promoted. And the National Cycling Plan is an actual political concept which includes funding for high-speed cycle paths and consultation for local transport planners.
Yeah, let's come to the improvement strategy. And there it's important to reduce energy consumption and emissions. We have to improve the efficiency and the usage of all vehicles and have lower CO2 emissions per unit of energy. The implementation is from the German government, that they are paying subsidies for electric cars, home charging stations, like I don't know, it's called wall boxes, and solar panels on the rooftop. Another thing is the charging infrastructure master plan. And it divides 1 million public charging stations by 2030. The next strategy is, and the last strategy is traffic justice and equal access to mobility. Here it's important to have fair access to transportation. It is essential for creating a just and inclusive society. Yeah, here we have to ensuring that everyone has equal access, to sustainable transportation. In Germany, we have since sorry, I'm not sure with the number now, but since around 4 years now, the Deutschland ticket, it's a nationwide public transport ticket for 49 euros per month. This ticket allows unlimited travel on regional trains, buses, and trams across Germany. As of now, around 10 million people are using this ticket, making public transport more accessible and affordable. This invitation is part of Germany's strategy to reduce cars in general and promote a greener travel lifestyle. Also, the government want to have a barrier-free public transport and sidewalks for people with disabilities, like we saw it yesterday. I don't know if you guys were with us. We saw a quarter with barrier-free plannings. Also, in the center of a city, sometimes the government develop car-free city centers to create safer and more accessible spaces for all.
So after those strategies and a few examples how we are currently handling the situation, we want to talk about some future visions. So things that are in the development right now. And to reach those goals, the new opportunities have to be achieved by a combination of policy and planning, but also new business models which develop new technologies. So one future vision is automated driving. This could increase safety in urban traffic by minimizing human error, and it can also optimize traffic flow. It has the potential to reduce the number of accidents and also improve the efficiency, because automated traffic could reduce fuel consumption, as self-driving vehicles are more efficient on the road because they have more optimized sensors. So in these pictures, you can see a self-driving test vehicle by Volkswagen, which is being tested. And down here is like an example picture of how the sensors could see where the people are and make the driving more safe. The next vision is integrated mobility solutions, which means that the services should seamlessly connect different modes of transport together to have more flexible and efficient ways of getting around. So we don't want to only have many different types of transport. We also need to connect them better. And we have some example pictures. Up there, you see Teilauto, which means share car in German, which is a popular car sharing service that we have. And this right there, the Mitfahrbank, is a hitchhiking spot. So in rural areas, it's a point where you can meet for people to take you with their car. And that also helps to connect people and reduce the number of cars being used. And down here we have a bike and a scooter that you kind of like we saw in your presentation that you can rent and take. If you drive somewhere with the train and you need to reach a point, you can use that for the last part of your journey. And then also important to reach the strategy of improvement, we need more sustainable propulsion systems, such as electric and hydrogen engines. but it's not easy to switch to zero emission vehicles because it requires a lot of investment in those charging stations that you can see here. And yeah, changing this charging infrastructure in Germany, which we already said is part of the master plan, but takes a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah, the next future vision is intelligent transport systems and future technology. The future of transport is rapidly evolving with new technology that promise to change the way we move. And there we have in Germany, for example, some projects from a company, it's Airbus, and they are developing air taxis. But to be honest, we don't think in the next few years it's a big deal. So probably they develop this, but yeah, we guess that's more for a case of emergency. It aims to create more efficient and sustainable and inclusive transportation networks. The next strategy is the impact of speed limits. It's a simple measure, like speed limits can have a big impact on road safety and also for the environment. In Germany, some parts of the Autobahn, it's the German highway, have no limits there. And there are always discussions about speed limits. Some political parties suggest this to set a limit on 120 kilometers per hour, and inside of the city from 50 to 30 kilometers. Yeah, maybe that's not new, but it's in discussion right now. The next future vision is about toll systems. And we learned yesterday the pick-plucker principle here. It's totally new for us. So we don't have toll systems in Germany. And yeah, that can manage the traffic efficiently and are, I think, key goals for sustainable cities. It can help to finance other more eco-friendly improvements like the German railway, where we need really money. Another thing we have is in Germany, the environmental zones. It's Umweltzone, it's called Umweltzone, and there are only environmental friendly vehicles allowed in these areas. So it's mostly the center. And it helps to reduce urban pollution and traffic congestion. The last future vision we want to present is public pop-up bike lanes and bicycle highways. Cities around the world are experimenting with new ways to promote cycling as a safe and sustainable mode of transport. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Berlin quickly introduced temporary bike lanes to accommodate the surge in cycling as people avoided public transport. These pop-up lanes were designed to provide more spaces for cyclists and encourage people to use bikes instead of cars. However, as traffic returns to pre-pandemic levels, some of these lanes are being removed or covered back to car lanes. It's a sparkling debate about the future of urban mobility, how we build tracks and bike lanes. And a good example in Europe, is Copenhagen. It's a leading example in Europe of a bike-friendly city and showcasing the potential of other cities of tomorrow.
Yes, and for our best practice examples, we want to explain the terms, or not explain, but present the terms innovation and exnovation first, because in the mobility transformation, the Wuppertal Institute, so it's an institute for transformation science, has implemented those terms to talk about ways of changing. So innovation refers to the development of new products and new technologies, and exnovation means to phase out outdated and environmentally harmful technologies. For example, phasing out fossil fuels and changing to other solutions. So we have those two kinds of ways of developments, and now we want to present you one innovation, one new technology, and one exnovation as best practice. So the innovation project that we want to present is called HEAT, which stands for Hamburg Electric Autonomous Transportation. And it's a project that is right now testing autonomous shuttle buses in the Hafen City district in Hamburg. And they aim to cover this last part of your journey in local public transport and increase connectivity and convenience for passengers. And by using electric cars, the project contributes to reduction of emissions and supports the friendliness of urban transportation. The project also relies on advanced sensor technology and artificial intelligence to ensure safe and efficient urban traffic. So it not only improves the options for people who don't have a car, it also connects different ways. So it connects many of the future visions and the strategies that we just talked about, and is like a prime example of testing this right now.
Yeah, let's come to our second example. It's the exnovation project, and that can transform urban spaces and improve the quality of life for cities. Sometimes in Berlin, the subway drives elevated, like here, the metro. And yeah, it looks back in the days, and now they change it to a bike lane. The conversion of parking spaces under the U1 subway line into a bicycle street is a good example for having new places under the subway. It provides a protected bike route separated from car traffic, creates an attractive urban space for cycling, walking, and relaxing, and can promote a healthy lifestyle and improving air quality, and in general brings more quality into the neighborhood. The exnovation aspect is that the efficient usage of empty spaces provides the quality of urban life and can promote cycling while reducing parking spaces. This project is an example of how innovative urban planning can make transportation more sustainable and more helpful for the community itself. Thank you. And now we have a discussion. We prepared some Mentimeter question tool. I don't know if you know it.
Do you know Mentimeter or not? We wondered because we use it kind of often to have discussions after presentations. So if you want to, you can scan the code, and we prepared some questions that you can answer on your phone so that we can talk about that and maybe start a conversation about it. So yeah, you can scan the QR code, or if that doesn't work, you go to this website and you use the code here.
And the question are also in Spanish.
Yes. Okay, if everyone has scanned it, I mean, you can take your time to answer, but yeah, maybe a moment to have everyone scan it. Can we go back to the code? Some people need to story. Yeah, perfect.
I mean, it's very interesting also for us to check what's, here, what kind of type of transportation you use.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our first question that you just answered, obviously. And it's still changing. You can see people are still answering, but yeah, it's really interesting to see, to have a representation of what we just talked about today, right? Because we got presented the metro in all of the excursions and stuff like that, that it's a big thing in this city, and to see that it's also represented in how you guys use traffic, or we, is really interesting. And but also
it's also be very interesting that there are so many people with cars. I mean, it's mostly the time during the traffic jams, and you need more time mostly, maybe, I don't know. If you want, every time you can interact.
Yeah. And yeah, also by foot seems to not be the most used transportation mode, but also Medellin is such a big city, right? So that's probably not easy to walk everywhere. Okay, a second. And yes, so we wanted you to rank those ways of improving mobility. So I see that safety and environmental friendliness are the places 1 and 2. And I think, yeah, that's also, I mean, that goes hand in hand with the metro and the public transport and stuff like that. Oh, no, it's changing still. It hasn't been answered. Okay. Okay, let's wait. Yes, there's 3 questions, so you can continue on your phone whenever you want.
It's a little bit sad, guys.
It's a race. What wins? So right now, cost is at the place number 1. And yeah, we were wondering if, I mean, obviously, you need to be able to afford transportation. It's a really important thing. But maybe we can talk about like how expensive is the public transport and the metro and things like that. Is it still does it cost you less to take your car or your metro? Maybe we can think about that in the, like, after the presentation. I guess that's an interesting thing. And also safety being on the second place, I think, I hope it doesn't sound too bad, but we can relate to that. We're like walking on the streets, the cars and everything is so hectic and so quick. So increasing safety seems like a good idea. Yes, and then we have this more open question that maybe, I mean, we talked about a lot of suggestions and ideas already, but what feels like the most important change maybe that needs to be done? This will create like a word cloud, so maybe that's a nice end of this topic. So you can also type in Spanish, but maybe someone needs to help us. Ja, ne? Ja, vielleicht hätten zwei Fragen gebracht. No. Yeah. If you don't want to, it's fine. You can feel free to just type your what feels important to you. Yeah.
And also we can check later. And I think it's good inspiration for having this word cloud, for having some impression what's the situation here in Medellin and what people think about the transportation and mobility solutions.
Or kind of like a conclusion of what we heard today. Oh, it's so small.
Yeah. I think connectivity is a very good keyword. Yeah, because it's better to have a net of more options to bring something together, to have a good exchange, and to have faster way that it's really an alternative to cars in the cities.
I also think it's interesting. Someone typed 24-hour public transport. I guess that relates to maybe I don't know, where is the metro not running at night? Yes, okay. Maybe that's also an interesting thing, to which times can you use it and how reliable it is. But yeah, it's nice to have some impressions of the ideas or the most important things that just struck out for you guys. Yeah. So thank you for all your responses. Maybe we can share the picture later somewhere if you want to. And yeah, thank you for your attention and participating in this Mentimeter. So yeah, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Julián y Nina. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta? Any questions? Perfecto. Pues muchas gracias, ¿no? Y ya haremos un descanso, ¿no? Un breve break y ya retomaremos lo que es la excursión del día de hoy al sistema Metro de Medellín. Muchas gracias por la asistencia y hasta ahora. Ya sabemos que el punto de encuentro pues al frente del auditorio, ¿vale? Muy amables. Hasta ahora.